everything from everyone. And it's just devastating. You don't know where to begin.
I figured, it's not going to be that bad, and I figured we'd ride it out. Worst mistake of my life.
Folks in Fort Myers, Florida are feeling Ian's impact in a major way. Now, 2 days after the storm made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane, 90% of the city is completely decimated. Roads turned into rivers, entire houses wiped away. Phil Keating joins us from the ground there. Phil, what are you seeing this hour?
Absolute devastation and destruction. We are on half of the very busy San Carlos Boulevard. But as you can see, it is now strewn with sailboats and huge charter fishing boats like Captain Tony's. This takes tourists out to the Gulf of Mexico for deep sea fishing. This has been trashed. It was all the storm surge, 12 to 15 feet here. So it and 3 other boats that were in the marina of the same size, you just can't see them from where we are, they all lifted up, untied themselves from the wind and the surge, and ended up right here on the boulevard. Everywhere you look, damage and destruction. Take a look across the street. That is the San Carlos RV Resort. There's one mobile home you see in there. That's one of 2 left that belongs to Gary and Rita Israel. Fortunately for them, they did evacuate. But first, take a look at this video from inside. We shot about an hour ago. The whole place is a wasteland. Nothing but shrapnel and debris and shredded former pieces of mobile homes everywhere. Where did they all go? The ones that didn't move out beforehand ended up across the water in the trees just to the east. I mean, they are mangled. Here's what the Israel said after they got back today for the first time.
What you see, devastation.
Tears.
Mess. Life gone. But we're going to start over. We're going to rebuild it. That's a plus. You're determined. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they're remaining positive. They tell me they lost everything they owned their whole life, but they're going to start over again. This is some of the other part of the side of the street. You've got the former office of the marina. That's destroyed. The storm surge really was the big factor here, not necessarily the wind. That was a restaurant for years and years. It's now blown wide open. It's got a roof, and there are 3 guys currently sleeping in there right next to the roadway. At least they got a place to stay because they were riding it out on a sailboat, believe it or not, and ended up in a mangrove island across the way. So a lot of people are very fortunate. However, the Sheriff's Department and the Governor and the Emergency Operations Director saying this morning they think they have 21 confirmed and unconfirmed fatalities. That number is expected to exponentially surge. That's because a lot of people did not evacuate. They stayed on the barrier islands and they rode the storm out. As the storm was coming and the storm surged and the water's getting higher, well, they're calling 911, but at that point it was too late for first responders to get out there and rescue them. So that's why the sheriff believes a lot of those people probably didn't make it. But as the search and rescue teams, this is day 2 of that, and they're coming in by helicopter and vehicles as they search through every piece of rubble that's left behind. They're expecting to unfortunately see the cost of this Category 4 hurricane.
Phil, those land-wrecked boats all around you are pretty extraordinary. Have you talked to any owners? I mean, what do you do? Where do you start with that?
Yeah, they're working on getting a crane in here as soon as they can. It's very difficult because right now this roadway is dominated by first responders, ambulances and fire trucks, front-end loaders, all of it, not only just local, but from across the state as far as Miami-Dade County. They've all come over to help out. That sailboat obviously trashed. Buildings behind it are completely destroyed. And that Cracker Jack, that big sport fishing yacht on the other side of the street, guy on top of it right now assessing what's salvageable, what's not. Very likely most will not be.
Wow. All right, Phil, we'll check back in with you next hour. Stand by. Thanks very much.